So guys, I decided to put the DCA, the Momentum DCA on some steroids, alright, and to run it against this evaluation, alright. And the biggest challenge was actually to create a validation procedure that will allow us to find the best settings. And that's what I now put into this strategy. Okay, so now end of day trail, okay, and 25K. But this you can actually adjust, right? I'll show you how. So you can adjust the profit target and you can adjust the max drawdown. Okay, so out the box, okay, so this is so today's the 19th of June 2026 and I'm running this on a 1 week of M2K data. Okay, so first of all, right, if I look at this, okay, it shows me I hit the target. Okay, I actually went over it at some point, and well, the analysis is looking good enough. Okay, so this is my weekly, okay, performance with this strategy, with commissions and all, so everything is pretty much included, okay, and most importantly, right, so you can look at the trades, right, but it'll take you ages. I mean, you can each time you could probably copy paste this into Claude and he will check whether this qualifies, okay, but there's quite a lot to it, right? And like one of the most challenging things to calculate is the constantly moving end of day sort of, highest achievement, right, in terms of account, all right, and calculating the trail that kind of kicks off that point, and also the cumulative MAE, okay, because we're scaling in here many times, okay, so you can see here's a scale in, right, so your cumulative drawdown for this trade is actually this MAE plus this MAE, right? Then you have to subtract that from, well, in this case, this is just trade one. So probably, if you still have not crossed, you have to look at the time, right? Because, this is in the morning, so this is before maintenance, right? So that's fine. But if this trade was, if it crossed maintenance or something, then you would have to do the calculations differently. So basically, I introduced a button. And this button does everything for you. And, I mean, there's quite a lot to it, right? But you can see at this point right here, we reached the required profit, okay? Now, on the other hand, if I was to toggle some settings, okay, you can also see I've added these. So this is the start and the end of the maintenance, right? So all trades will be closed at 450 if this is checked, all right? And that's important, right? Because otherwise you'll just get closed out, and this really affects the equity, right? And this, so no entry, right? So it doesn't allow any entry after 430, okay? So you can actually play around with this as well. Now for the validation, you can see I've added 25,000 account, target 1,500 and a drawdown of 1,000. Okay. Now this is only for Eastern time, so your Ninja Trader has to be set in Eastern time. Okay, and most importantly, this is for end of day, right? So not trailing drawdown. Okay, end of day, whatever, right? Daily loss limit, I didn't account for that. Okay, but that's something maybe I can do in the next stage, or if I see that the strategy is getting popular, then I can work on it. For now, I think this is already pretty cool. Okay, now, so let me show you. I'm gonna just so this one passed this week's evaluation. Okay, with 40 trades or what. But now I'm gonna show you. Let's say I'm gonna increase position size to 4, and that actually passed 2 even earlier. Okay, I want to break it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this to signal buddy size. So let's put this to 0.3 Okay. Well, this did not pass and did not break. Okay, so anyway, let me just put the parameters back in. I'll just change the symbol. So this was at 3, this was 0.15. Okay, we can see that this does the job nicely. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go to M2K, M and Q. I think that breaks it. Yeah, so you can see this actually took it off on the first trade. So let me take it to MES and run here. I just want to show you. Okay, yeah, here we go. That's better. So you can see this first trade takes off. So we started 25,000. Okay, and the MAE for this is actually 0. All right, which means that the trade went in our direction, spot on. Okay, and so this is the capital. We start with this, right? Our drawdown threshold is 24,000, right? And you can see how the drawdown threshold moves, 24,000. So this trade and this trade, that's where they switches, right? So when this day, okay, starts, we can see this drawdown threshold is now different, right? It's actually this capital, 25,149.55 minus 1,000 drawdown, that's set, right? And most importantly, so this is a cumulative MAE, right? So if we have scale in, it actually accumulates it. You can see 33375 plus 150 here. Okay, that's already 483. Okay, so this means that here's the drawdown threshold. Okay, we can see that right here, our threshold. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is capital minus MAE. That's what's important, right? So capital minus accumulated MAE, right? So in this case, it's 24,815, which is way above this value. And so the important thing is, so when this trade opened, okay, when this trade opened, the capital balance was, the realized was this value. So it's 25,000. I just want to show you because this is important. 21,149.55 minus the MAE here, minus 333.75, okay? And that's when you get 24,000, yeah, there it is, 815.8, right? So what I'm trying to say is the way you calculate the threshold and whether you've breached it or not is your trade opens, your MAE starts, your MAE can grow. So you got your realized, which is here when your previous trade closed, okay? But you have to subtract it from your last closed, okay? That's quite important, okay? So overall, this kind of takes you to a new stage where you can actually not fish for parameters. You can actually, you know, check them out and find the ones that work and see so if they work for the next week. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy this. Take care.